Okay, so we just got done riding Hang Tight and Hang Loose.
Yep.
Muffy Davis. Had a fantastic ride.
It was awesome.
So tell me, how many times a week do you think you should be doing this?
Well, I live a quarter of a mile from here, so I have no excuse. I should come out twice a week, especially when it's late into the evening.
Yeah, I'm going to hold you to it.
No excuses. I know. I'm not going unassisted, though, so I may have to call you, John.
Okay, I'll be glad to come out again. We got to ride both directions
Yes.
so we see which one you like best.
Perfect.
Okay,
That's
awesome.
Great.
So, tell me about the experience you just had with riding the trail.
Well, for me to be able to go from my house without having to put my bike in the car and unload it and everything, that's absolutely amazing. And then the trail was perfect width, and I didn't have to worry at any point that I was going to fall over or have someone come spot me. So that's unusual. I think that's probably the first trail I've ridden that I haven't, I was always watching to see if it was going to come up, because I'm used to always having to be like, okay, wait, now you have to spot me and help me. But that trail the whole way, I was totally independent, was able to ride and not have to worry about falling off, down. I mean, I still had to pay attention, but it was great. It was just wide enough for everything. So
yeah,
it's unusual.
Okay, great. Well, fantastic.
Well, thank you for building it.
You're welcome. Well, the trick is now we have to maintain it.
Yep.
To that, so we can continue to have that type of safe experience, but then also, a fun place to go, so we don't have to then worry too much about it. And,
yeah, definitely. You can see when some of the foliage comes up and you can't see if there's a rock in there or whatnot. So that's where the maintenance will be helpful too.
Yeah. Okay, great. So tell me about what the benefits. You say you live a quarter mile away. We have a trail right here. Tell me about the personal benefits that you think that you would gain from having a trail like this right here.
Well, it just gets you out. Again, like I said, there's no excuse now. I mean, it's not like, oh, I got to go load the bike up and you come up with all the excuses when it's outside your back door and you can just get on your bike and go. More people are willing and able to do that, and to have a accessible trail that's there. Again, everyone can get out and do it. So.
Yeah. Okay, great. So now put it on your county commissioner hat.
Okay.
From a county standpoint, from individuals and from their physical and emotional and mental health, can you talk a little bit about that and how you see that?
Well, we are this community is investing a lot of time and research and energy into what we deem as a mental health crisis that's happening with our youth, with a lot of people in the community, just from stress, everyday stress. And to have access to recreation out your back door is huge. People can come right here. I mean, we passed some kids that were just walking up and just getting out to just get out and get into nature. And we all know the healing benefits of nature. So to be able to do it so easily and so accessible, it's a huge benefit to our community.
Yeah. How about from an economic perspective? There's a lot of, here we live in the Wood River Valley. There's a lot of recreation that goes on here. The community is really kind of revolves around tourism and recreation.
Hugely.
But tell me about this and how this trail either adds and supports that.
Well, for multiple reasons. One, that people can go out in their lunch break or whatnot, and it's close, it's accessible in that regard. But it's also, a lot of our trails here in Blaine County are up north, and you can't access them. We get snow there sooner, and it stays there a lot later. And so these are some of the earlier trails, to have trails down here in Hailey in the vicinity where people can access them earlier in the year and get out when they're sick of the snow and they're ready to be on their bikes. They're able to get down here. So for multiple reasons, it's a huge plus to the whole community, a huge economic incentive. We have, bike shops everywhere. You see the little kids all over. We have a nice, fun kids park over there, and the parents can come out and enjoy, and the kids are on the path. So I think, a lot of people make a choice, and some of them even sacrifice maybe making more money or whatnot, because they want to live in a community that has so much access to recreation. So not only for those that come to visit and the tourism that we get, but the people that choose to live here for a reason, because they like the access. And so the more trails that we can have, and the easier that they are for people to access and get to, the better it is for everyone.
Yeah, great. So there's no way we could have done this without a partnership. Here we're sitting here in the city park in Hot Porter Park, or not in, and Old Cutters Park.
Yep.
In Hailey. So this is owned by the city of Hailey. We met earlier with Kaz Thea, who is on the city council, the president of the city council. When we talked about the different infrastructure that we have in order to get to the trail.
Yeah, right.
Can you talk a little bit about that, as far as the it's not just the trail itself, but getting to the trail.
Well, I mean, here we are in this great park, and the access to the trail. I'm lucky because I just get to ride my bike here, but some other people may not be able to, and they may have to drive and be able to get their bike out. Well, there's parking right there. There's access from the parking. There's a curb cut. You can push in your chair to an actual accessible bathroom, which never happens, John. I don't know if I've ever been on a trail ride where there's an accessible bathroom at the start. So, I mean, just to have the whole package from, people don't have to worry. They're able to get out. They're able to get onto the path. They're able to get onto the trail. I could do this independently. I don't know if that would be wise. Some people probably do it. I know some of those crazy guys that probably do come and ride it all by themselves. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, and it's great. Yeah, like I say, we couldn't have done it without a partnership, but then with the city of Hailey, and also we have Miles over here we can't see from the Wood River Trails Coalition, and they were, instrumental in helping to construct the trail, along with the Blaine County Recreation District. And then, of course, part of this trail crossed the city of Hailey property.
Yep.
So we have to thank them and appreciate that for that segment of trail, for the donors that helped to support that portion of that being constructed. So there's a lot of partnerships that made this happen, and I'm really glad it did.
Well, and I am too. Thank you to everyone that made it possible. And I was thinking as I was coming down, because most trails aren't that wide, so it must be an immense amount of work to really get in and cut that as much as you have to cut. But thank you for doing that. Thank you for all of the partners that were willing to make it, and the access trail that's out there. I'm going to be going out more often.
Okay, good job. Thanks, Muffy.
Thanks.